All right, we're live. Boy, I owe a huge debt of gratitude to Walter Bunning. Because guys, I got home literally not too long ago. I worked late, and okay, there I am live. Just making sure I'm really live. So I had a long week. Boy, did I have a long week. And I didn't get home till later today. And then of course, ate some hot dogs and chili. And by the time I was finishing up, Walter texted me and says, "Are you having a live stream?" I said, "No, because I got to work early tomorrow. I don't know how late I got to work tomorrow." And then he mentioned the giveaway, and the light bulb went off. Today, I was thinking about this giveaway, and I thought I was going to do it tomorrow night. And so I jumped up, and that's live stream going. I got all this set up just for you guys. So we have a giveaway, and I have everyone's name that got in on the drawing, and we're going to have a really good, straightforward drawing for a pistol cleaning rod by Montana Xtreme. Now, they make two different lengths. You know, you just want to clean, you know, if just got, you know, short barrel handguns or a little longer, whatever you want, they've got. So I'm going to get to the rifle, cleaning rods in just a moment. Before we do the giveaway, I'm going to talk about some of the products by Montana Xtreme and tell you a little bit about them, because a lot of guys don't know anything about Montana Xtreme, and once they try their products, they really like them. So, okay, so look at this, man. We have some good lineup. Okay, Matt Cushing, I really appreciate that. Now, here's the deal. I want to talk a little bit about the Montana Xtreme gun care products, and then we'll have the drawing. And then after that, we're going to open this up to, if you want to be on my live stream here, let's pack the panel, okay? The rule will be is you got to be able to drown out your background noise, or we'll have to, you know, we can't have, you know, you got to be able to control your background noise. But I say if we want to get pack the panel, let's all get on and we can answer questions and talk and get to know each other. So let's start out by, let's do this. I want everyone to type Montana Xtreme, and I'm going to call you out, and then we'll get into our live stream. It's going to be a good live stream. Very good. Once again, Walter, I really thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Good old H2O. I love H2O. Okay, here we go. Lee Scott's in the house. Hoghead 69. Harold Farmer. Jeffrey Stegall. Alaska 1 Andy. Matt Cushing. Oh, and the beautiful Miss Highboy, my awesome wife. She's so awesome. Walter Bunning, who saved the day. Jason Hunt. Long Live 3. Preston Lynch. Marty Mack, 63. Good to see you, Mr. Marty Mack. Always good to see you. And we got the awesome Bobby Barlow in the house. Okay, we got Nick Knight. How you doing there, brother? Bodie West in the house. Rocking the house. All right, so I know Walter, he can't be with us for too long. Preston Lynch, good to see you, buddy. Walter can't be with us for very long because he's going to go shooting. His shooting range is open a little later on Friday night, so he's going to go. So I'll try and speed this up a little bit. Oh, Lee Scott's going to vote. All right, man, every vote counts. So first off, I want to tell everybody that Montana Xtreme, they're an awesome company. I mean, I really kind of caught on to them about 7 years ago, just using their products, and the more I used it, the more I liked it. You know, I know one guy over there at Montana Xtreme, but past that, this is my choice. Over time, they've sent me a few things, but they don't. You know, here's the thing: no one really sponsors me. You know, sometimes you know, you get to know a company, and they'll send you a thank you. You know, um, and I like it that way. I really do. So Montana Xtreme, they're not a major sponsor. I really do believe in their products. Is what I use, and so I want to thank Montana Xtreme for providing us with this giveaway. And they're going to do another giveaway with a pistol cleaning rod here. So go to 76highboy.com and register, because you have to be on that forum to get in the giveaway. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my history with Montana Xtreme. Um, you know, throughout the years, I would always try different gun cleaning products. And I don't know about you guys, but I got really tired of purchasing something and you give it a whirl. It's like, it's not what they said it was. So I kind of became kind of closed-minded to just, I had so many different products. I said, you know, I'm not buying anymore. You know, they always, you know, say these products, you know, and they sell the world with them, and they don't really do what they're supposed to do. So I just said, you know, I'll stick with Old Hoppy's #9, put some extra muscle in it, and call it good, right? So uh, uh, one day, I think I broke a cleaning rod. I think it, going back to like just before 2013. So I went to buy a gun cleaning rod, and I thought, I went to Sportsman's Warehouse. I thought, do I want a gun cleaning rod? Do I want another kit? You know, what do I want? Kits are pretty cheap, you know. But then I saw their rods, and I was like, um, hang on. I was like, man, those are really nice rods. And I kind of looked at their cleaning products, and I thought, no, no, I am not going to try any more cleaning products. I have all this stuff. You know, everyone's telling me they'll do all this special stuff, and they don't. I don't want to buy any more products. So I purchased their gun cleaning rod. To the best of my memories, I came home, I used it, and I loved it so much. Now, while I was using it, I began complaining because I just hate some of the patches that these gun companies sell. Thin little, you can almost polish your glasses with them. They're so thin, you know. And then I remember, well, while I was over at Sportsman's, they had some patches that were kind of expensive, but they were flannel. They looked really nice. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go try it. And I went over and I bought their patches, came home, the best patch in the world. I was hooked on their patches immediately. So I thought, all right, okay, this is really good stuff. So next time I was at Sportsman's, I began looking through their stuff, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. Once you try their product, you're hooked. Now, I'll tell you this right now. Two things I will tell you. One, I avoid aerosols. I know there's some, everyone talks really good about Ballistol. I am absolutely positive that's a great product. But anything that comes out of a can, pressurized, man, you're spending a lot of money, and it's going to deliver more than what you need to do the job. And for me, where I've came about is I don't mind spending the extra money, but I don't want to waste it. I only want to use what I need and no more. And I gotta tell you guys this: I've got a lot of guns, and I love. Some guys don't like to clean guns. I like to clean guns. One thing that will help you clean your one thing that will help you to enjoy cleaning your guns is to have good stuff, right? I don't like cleaning a gun that I can't get clean. That it pisses me off. Okay. Anyway, you guys are all laughing. Way to put it, boy. You know, but I like to clean my guns, and I like a good result, right? So the first thing I'll say is I kind of avoid um, uh, aerosols, anything anything in a pump bottle that you're going to pump and it's going everywhere. It's like way too much. That's overkill. The other thing is, yes, I do have other products, other lubricants, but I will tell you this: I only buy those when I see some business going out of business, okay, and I can go in there and get it at 60% off. Hey, who wouldn't? Because it's still good lubricants, and the only thing I really buy would be a lubricant. I'm really not. I guess I would buy a cleaner if it was cheap enough. Okay, so what I use in my real walk is mostly Montana Xtreme. Uh, yeah, Hoghead, he's saying he does waste a lot of ballastol, and I'm not judging. If some guys like it, it is nice. It's nice. It's a very fast way to do it. But for me, I like to kind of pace my product. So first off, they're bore solvent. Best um, best standard bore solvent on the market. Period. Um, I like it better than Hoppies. I wish I used Hoppies all those years. I wish I could tell you I like it better than that I like Hoppies better than it, but I don't. I do like Hoppies because it's in the way that it doesn't cost as much. But lately, Hoppies has been really expensive. I mean, it's really getting expensive. This works better. Period. Okay. It doesn't take nearly as much. Also, that's another thing. On their bore solvent, it doesn't take a whole lot. Okay. Um, okay. The cowboy blend right here. Shooting cast bullets, right there. That's your best friend. If you're shooting a lot of, sending a lot of cast bullets downrange, that's the way to go. Now, I got to tell you guys this. You got to remember this. Kind of stepping away from cleaning firearms. If you understand that a cast bullet, it leads the bore up. Okay. Now, I want to say something about your terminology. It doesn't lead the barrel. You can say barrel, but it's really the bore inside. So this is just a little extra for you all to know. If you're shooting a cast bullet and a jacketed bullet, you always shoot the jacketed or the plated first, and then you shoot the cast. In other words, if you're going to the range, or like if I'm going out to the desert and I'm going to shoot cast and I'm going to shoot a jacketed or a plated, you always shoot the jacketed or plated first and then the cast. The reason is, if you shoot the cast first, you get lead buildup in the bore, and then when you run that jacketed behind it, the diameter of your bore is so much smaller that when that bullet hits it with the excessive pressure, you can bulge your barrel, you can damage your gun really bad, you can get hurt really bad. A lot of guys don't know that. See what you learned on the giveaway? So always remember, shoot the plated and the jacketed bullets first, and then follow up with the cast. So if you're shooting a lot of cast bullets, right here, okay, the cowboy blend. Now, I'm going to kind of, so here we have our regular bore solvent. I just bought this one. Yes, I bought it. A lot of guys think they give me all this. No, no, they don't. I bought it. I bought all the patches, okay? This bore solvent's almost gone. I just bought a big one. It's worth it, okay? So there's your regular bore solvents. There's your cowboy blend. And then they have the rimfire solvent. This is awesome. If you shoot a lot of rimfire, this is your best friend right here, okay? Another thing, these guys are an official supplier for the U.S. shooting team. All right, so every time you buy this, they donate. So it's a very good product. So if you're in a lot of rimfire shooting, this is the way to go. On all our 1022s, all of my old Ruger 3-screw rimfires, that's what I use. Okay. Now, copper killer. We got to talk about this. So back when I was new, okay, how's the odor on Montana Xtreme? Hoghead is asking. Now I'm going to tell you this. Be very careful. I'm not joking. When I first got this, I thought I would open it and smell it. It put me on the floor. When you smell it, it instantly hits your eyeballs, and it feels like someone's running 2 freaking 6-inch needles through your eyeballs all the way up into here. You can't see, you can't smell, instant gushing of tears, and it fuzzes your brain out. And I went down. I'm not lying. I told my wife this, that if someone was going to rob me in my home, I would say, sir, you can have anything you want, but not this. Not this. You do not want this. And whatever you do, please don't smell this. This smells so good. And the minute that robber smelt this, man, he goes down hard. And I would have him. That is how powerful this is. So be very careful. If you get the copper killer, it's gonna don't keep it away. Now, another thing, don't store your primers around solvents. I'm going to get this for you guys. I lost it. The solvent it turns the priming compound into a funky color, and it turns into goo. So keep your primers stored away from your solvent. Primers are pretty shelf stable. You know, like where I store mine, you know, lows 50 to 55s in the winter. The hottest it can get is like 90. My primers have always went bang, okay? But don't store them near solvent. Now here's the next thing. Nick, you won't regret that. The next thing is, okay. This will clean the copper out of the bore. Terminology. Don't say this will clean the copper out of my barrel. Okay? You're not wrong when you say that, but bore is more correct. We're cleaning the bore. Okay. Shooting a lot of long range, long range rifle. The high velocities, that's what's going to put excessive buildup. That's going to remove it. Okay, now, listen very carefully to me. This copper cream does the same thing. Okay, I don't use a lot of the. I don't use. Okay, hang on. Okay, they both do the same thing. I think it's just one that's more aggressive. I don't use a lot of these because I'm not that guy that puts a lot down range, long range. It's just not me. But when I get to that point, I will. And that's when I will really be working with these two products. But if you're getting a lot of copper buildup in your bore, you want to try these. And some of the guys I talk to that use these, that's all they use right there. Okay. Now, bore conditioner. This I can tell you about. All right. Okay, Bergen just got his T7 in the mail. Way to go. Okay. What's the question? What will what do to wood? Okay. What will what do? What are you talking about? Okay. Bore conditioner. So, a lot of guys, okay, they clean their rifle. They clean the bore out. Oh, Montana Xtreme. I have never put this. I've never put the copper killer or the copper cream on wood, but the bore solvent, I always wipe the grips of my grips down. My old Ruger 1022. It's kind of a lot like Hoppy's in that way. It's not going to hurt it. Put it that way. So I hope I answered that. It's just like a typical solvent. Put it on there, and you know it's got that preserve factor to it, so it works good that way. Or pistol grips. I wipe everything down with it. It doesn't hurt anything. Okay, in regards to that. Okay, so bore conditioner. So you got a guy, and he's just an average hunter, and he before he goes, okay, he's getting ready to go in. Hunting season's coming. He wants to take his rifle, and he wants to go put it on papers, make sure he's got it all sighted in. So he cleans the rifle and he cleans the bore. And he goes out, takes his first shot, takes his second shot, and it's high, or it's low, or it's to the right. He takes his next shot and it's way high. Now, some guys right after that, their shot groups will start coming in. But some rifles, they'll just keep having inaccuracy all over the target, and it frustrates guys. But then after, say, 7 or 8 rounds, their shot groups come in just perfect. That's what you call fouling the bore. In other words, let's say I reload 100 rounds. And let's just say 2 or 3 of those rounds, I'd say they're not really worthy for accuracy. Those are my fouling shots. In other words, I'm going to go out, I'm going to run the first 3 through the bore and foul it. Now, after that, now I can go ahead and put the rifle on a rest, and I can begin one shot at a time, watching to see how tight my group is. If you don't have your bore fouled properly, you're not going to have that accuracy you're looking for, and it can be terrible, especially just a regular over-the-counter rifle. They need to be fouled. This is where the bore conditioner comes in. The bore conditioner, okay, this is an ultra refined oil. It's kind of pink. Hang on. can kind of see the pinkness in that cap. It's kind of pinkness to it. You see that? I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of pink. And it's ultra fine. It's a very fine, ultra refined oil. So this is how fouling works. Some guys, when they think of fouling a bore, they think of buildup of the copper. Yes and no. Actually, fouling the bore, you are filling in all the micro cracks and smoothing it for a perfect bore. Keeping in mind we have rifling. What this does is it absorbs into all the micro cracks and it stays there. So now when you take your rifle to the range and put it on paper, your initial shots are going to be a lot closer right out of the chute. And it works. On my Winchester Model 70, I used to have to go maybe almost 5 shots to pull my groups in. Now, after I apply this 2 times, okay, when I clean my bore, I will apply this 2 times. And when I do that, within my 3rd shot, my groups are coming right in. I'm not sitting there wasting rounds down range. So this will help you to send less rounds down range to see what your tightest shot groups are. Now listen carefully to what I'm saying. This does not negate the fact that you still have to foul your bore. You are still going to have to foul the bore, but you're not going to have to foul it as many times. Okay. Now, maybe other guys have experienced that once they use this, they don't have to foul it. You just got to work with it. Now, another thing, it's really cool. It's an ultra refined oil, and I've tried this like on my semi-auto pistols. Okay, it does a really good job of lubricating. It really does, but it's so thin that it runs. So it doesn't really take the place of an oil. If you're like me and you have this bright idea that, hey, I could lubricate my semi-autos with this, it is so light that a little goes a long way and runs down. So you can just try it, okay? It's a great product, okay? If you're into just handguns, that product's not for you, okay? Now, they're gun oil. I want to talk about gun oils, and this is just me. You have CLPs, you have LPs, you have oils. I know people in the lubrication business, okay? All of them have a little side joke. It's like companies come out with newer and better lubricants, and you can only do so much with lubricants, okay? It's just kind of like putting the same present out there with a different wrapping and a different color on the bottle. And so you got to remember that. Now, that's not to say that some oils aren't better than others. There's just some are. This is a superior oil, hands down. What I like about it is, hang on. All these bottles come with these. I can't pronounce these little things. You get these at the hobby shop. And that's what I really like about it. You know, guys know I said that I kind of avoid um, lubricants in a spray bottle. Okay. Well, hang on, let me reposition this here. I don't, one, I don't like to waste oil. Two, I don't like coming out with my semi-auto pistol and having oil, and now you're trying to hold it so your pistol doesn't slip. Too much oil getting on the grips in your hands. I hate that. I really do. And you know, you can wipe it down, but if you have too much oil on the slide and it keeps coming down, then that's a waste of time for me. So their products come with these. They're little applicators, and you can get them at the hobby store really cheap. And what normally comes with this is a much thinner one of these. Now in this, I have the actual ore conditioner, so I'm gonna kind of get rid of it. What I like about this is I can put however much oil I want on a firearm. I dig that. I really do. The other thing that I'm big on, okay, I'm really big on this. All the more, you know, over lubricating a slide isn't really a bad thing. I mean, it's still going to function. I'm saying it's not a bad thing in the way of mechanically functioning. But if you have too much oil, one, you wasted some money. Two, it starts getting on the grip. You can't hold the pistol. You go to run the slide, your hands are slipping. I hate that. So one way I apply this is I will get a Q-tip wet and I'll run that down my slide. Every slide groove on the slide and on the pistol frame, I'll run this down it. And then I don't have all this crazy excess. And I mean, if you want to wipe your pistol down, wipe it down. But I don't put so much oil that, you know, it looking like it's taking a shower bath of oil. And so this helped me to control how much oil I'm putting on my firearm. I like it. I think it's a great idea by Montana Xtreme. They do wear out. These, they wear out. They'll gotta wear out, and once they got a hole, they won't pick up oil. So go buy a bunch of them from a hobby shop, and you got them. It's great. Okay, so I give them an A+ there. So that's some of their gun care products. Now I want to talk about their best cleaning rod in the business. Man, that thing is so slick, and we're going to do a drawing for one of these pretty quick. So their rifle cleaning rods, absolutely beautiful. And I don't want to say who he is. I think I remember who he is. One of my guys broke their rifle cleaning rod. They just sent him another one, period. No questions asked. You break it, they replace it. The nicest rod in the industry. You won't find a nicer rod. Okay, and I don't have a link in the description box below. I'll get one in as soon as the giveaway is over. They have have one for every caliber and every length you can think of. They're a very good product. It is worth every dollar spent. They're not cheap. Okay, they're not cheap, but because they're not cheap, they're not cheap. In other words, they're not cheap because they're total quality. Okay, so here we have I forget what this is. Let me get my tape measure. I want to get this right. I don't want to mess this up. Oh no! Oh, that's Andy's. Dang it, Andy! Dang it! Oh, it's not quite on the floor. Does that count, Andy? Okay, I wanted to say this one's a 5-inch cleaning rod. Okay, yes, made in the USA, absolutely. That's big for me. And then this one is a 9, I believe. So they make them in 5 and 9. And I will tell you something. That's right, Matt. He said, "Don't worry, it's not cheap. It's good." Yeah, you drop it on the ground, it will be fine. If you break it, I bet they would replace it without a doubt. I bet they would. Okay, so I want to talk about the two sizes, the 5-inch and the 9-inch. First, I started out with a 9-inch because I wanted one that would cover all, and I thought, well, I don't want a 5-inch. But once I tried the 5-inch, oh my gosh! If you have a shorter pistol, cleaning it with the 5-inch, it's the way to go. Now, what I done is I have 2 of each. Why? Because when I'm going to, I've got a lot of guns. I got a lot of guns. I don't like to sit here and, if I'm only cleaning 1 gun, I don't care. When I got to clean 7 guns and they're all 45 auto, then I can put my 45 auto jag, I can put my 45 auto brush, and I can sit there and just go, and I don't have to swap them back and forth from the jag to the brass. So I really like that. So I have 2 5s, I have 2 9s. I probably clean 6 or 7 a week, average. Some, most of the time. So very nice. Now, no one makes a better jag than Montana Xtreme. You guys are saying, Hi Boy, you keep saying nobody makes anything better than Montana Xtreme. Well, I'll tell you why. On the jags, on the bottom right here, they go both ways, and on the top it goes both ways. It holds the patch both ways, and don't let it go. Another thing, okay, I'm going to teach you guys. Hang on. Okay, on your jags, let me show you how to do the patch on your jags, okay? Don't come in on the center unless you're using an El Cheapo thin patch. The problem with an El Cheapo thin patch, you're going to stab through it, and when you run it through the bore, you're going to rip that off, and it pisses you off. It does, right? If you go through the center of a Montana Xtreme, when you go through the bore, it's going to be too tight because these are flannel. So what you do is the easier you want it to be, the closer you're going to be to the corner. In other words, if I just want, let's say you have a delicate handgun or rifle and you just want to ease into it, you can get closer to that edge and you can wrap it, and it'll go a lot easier. If you want a little more scrubbing action, then come down a little further, and you can experiment with this, okay? So that's how this works. Now I'm going to show you this, okay? I don't like to waste oil. I told you guys that, right? I can put just enough oil on. That's all I need. And I didn't waste it. I just put just enough oil on that patch that I can lubricate a bore that I'm going to store away. That's all you need. All you need is a micro layer film of oil on your firearm, and that's enough to protect it. Okay. Too much oil on a rifle, storing it away, that can really mess your firing pin up. Okay. So now another reason that these are the best jags is they got a nice strong tip, and you need that. If you're going to use the heavy-duty patches by Montana Xtreme, you need a strong tip. And isn't that funny? They made their tip strong enough to withstand their patches. Now, these are brass, so you can bend them. Beware. Okay, that's how you do your patches right there. Another thing, when I'm finishing up a handgun, I don't sit there and run my patches till it's perfectly pristine white. I don't waste my patches. Okay, I'm gonna go get the gun dirty again. Okay, as long as it's pretty clean and I can follow it up with a little oil film, that's good enough for me. Okay, now this is the one that hit the floor, and I bent the brush. So this one is Andy's. No, I'm teasing. Andy's not getting nothing. Can someone tell me why, with the Montana Xtreme products, you need to use a nylon brush? Why? Some people will say you need to use a brass brush because the bristles are thicker and they scrub better. I agree. But that's the case, and this nylon isn't as strong, and it's not as, the bristles aren't as fat as a brass. Why would I use the nylon? Can someone tell me why? I will tell you why. Because their solvents are so strong that if you use brass, it will eat it. And he said it. Not with Montana, it will dissolve the brass brush. That's a fact. I've personally done it. They turn green and grody, and then they don't scrub. The brush quits scrubbing. And the reason the brush quits scrubbing is it's eating it, and the diameter is smaller. So this stuff is, so you're like, hey, that's expensive. Well, guess what? It works. So, so there you go. Now, the last thing, okay, two more things. The last time I compared gun grease on the market, the ones I could find, the temp ranges on the Montana Xtreme had a wider range than everybody else, period. I know it's been 2 years since I looked. Maybe someone beat them by now. But the range of temps on this gun grease, trust me, this is going to work wherever you're at in the world. So their gun grease, this stuff's amazing. It's amazing. And, you know, like on my Air 15, you know, working with my bolt assembly, and it just takes the smallest amount. I mean, this stuff, see the tip of that grease? That's going to go a long way. You don't need a lot of that, okay? So definitely check their gun grease out, you know. Now, I want to talk about their rifle cleaning kits. I have two of these. These are ideal. I've had these boxes now going on 6 years, two of them. One of these was in my Highboy, my 1976 F250. You guys know how those ride. Boom, 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 boom. All the miles in the desert. The boxes, they stay together. Everything stays put. Comes with full cleaning rod. It comes with, okay, I have my jags and my brushes and my 22 caliber patches. Has all the typical tools you need to clean your rifle. But I have two of these. Whenever I go to the desert, I throw one in either my Super Duty or my old Ford Ranger, and I have it with me. So if I got a problem at the range, I can address it right there. I never have to use it because all my stuff works good. Why does my stuff work good? Because I got good products. And because I have good products, I enjoy cleaning my firearms, and so therefore they're well maintained. if you don't enjoy cleaning your firearms, sooner or later they're going to fail you because you're not going to be wanting to spend time with keeping them clean, and that's going to work against you. Okay, so that is the Montana Xtreme that I'm about right there. Yes, I do have like M Pro 7. I have what else do I have? Different CLPs and stuff, but I've only got those because places were closing and I got them. I couldn't pass up on the price, and I'll just be honest with you. It's like, you know, like you know, my son, I was able to give him a bottle of that, right? Some M Pro 7, you know, when we went and saw him, hey, here's some M Pro 7. He's getting into guns, so I could give it to him. I don't give my Montana Xtreme away, all right? So, you know, yeah, you'll see me with different things. And as far as like a spray solvent cleaner, I use the Remington shotgun solvent or whatever's the cheapest. So I'm not brand loyal that way, but this is what keeps my guns running. When you watch my videos of my pistols running, that's Montana Xtreme. You watch my pistols of my AR-15s running, that's Montana Xtreme. Have I tried my M Pro 7 and my others? Yeah, absolutely I have. I'm telling you, I have. And guess what? I really like my Montana Xtreme because I can do everything I need, everything I shoot. I've got a lot of guns that work. Okay, so take what you want, leave what you don't. But I'll tell you this, okay? If you're on a budget, I don't know how many of you know who Zig Ziglar was. Look up Zig Ziglar. I'll put his name. They called him Zig. A lot of the older guys are going to definitely know who he was. I was a huge fan, and I got to meet him, and I got his autograph, and he was just a really spectacular guy. But in one of his audio tapes and in one of his books I was reading, when he was a salesman early in life, he sold kitchen pots and pans door to door. That's a tough sell. And back in them days, though, that's how you sold. You didn't have the phones, but you went to the people and you sold it. And this one man he was selling to, he sat right there at his table, and the man told him, after he looked at the cookware, he told Zig Ziglar, and Zig lost the sale. He said, well, you know, I have kids I'm raising, and I got to put them to college, and I'm putting my money back for college. And Zig Ziglar, it's been 20 years since I read it, he pretty much, in his mind, told himself, I can't take this man's money. I'm robbing his kids. But later, Zig realized that man was wanting him to tell him something. Well, your cookware that you're selling me saved me money by not wasting food, so I can put less money into my food and more money into my kids' college savings. You see, sometimes you spend a little more on that cookware, but you're going to waste less food over time, and that's going to save you money. And your food's going to taste a lot better. So you can spend a little more now and have a better shooting gun, and that's going to last you longer. And it does. I've got a lot of guns when I go through this, and with the amount of guns I have, if Ballistol, whoever they are, nice company, great product, if they said, hey, we'll supply you with this stuff, I'd say, well, but there's something I got to tell you. I got a lot of guns and I shoot a lot. I'm going to go through so much of that I can't, in all honesty, tell my viewers to buy this because they're going to spend a ton of money. If it's too much for me, it's going to be too much for them. That's a Zig Ziglar and me, guys. So think about when you're buying cleaning supplies. You got all these new CLPs in the squirt bottle. Man, squirt, squirt, squirt. It's going everywhere. It's such a waste of product going nowhere all over your bench, right? And I was talking to a guy, and he said, well, what I do, he says, after I'm done spraying that, I wipe it up and I use that to wipe my guns down. Really? I'm going to take a really nice Smith & Wesson, model 19, model 28, 35, model 29, whatever, and I'm going to take that stuff I just wiped off my bench and go down that nice blued barrel? No, I beg your pardon. So why don't you just keep the oil where it's supposed to go and not waste it, and when you're ready to wipe it down, you can use a nice new towel and really put a polish on that and know you didn't waste your oil and your products work really good. And then you'll really enjoy cleaning firearms. I know I do. That doesn't mean I always feel like cleaning them, because sometimes it's too late in the day, but always the next day. I love to get my coffee and come out and clean my firearms. It's a great time to be had. There you go. Now, we have a giveaway to do. Does anyone have any questions on any of this? Montana Xtreme doesn't pay me. I think they appreciate me. I really do. That's why they're going to provide a giveaway. But when I'm getting ready to probably go buy another bore solvent, because I use this stuff. I was buying the small bottles, or now it's like, well, I better buy another large because I use it. Okay. So any questions? Questions or comments? Elster, what you doing, buddy? Yes, the rods do rotate. Absolutely, like a bearing. It's like a bearing in there, man. Woo! Nice. They're quiet. They're smooth. So when you're running them and the rod is twisting from the rifling, it's smooth. Okay. There you go. Paul America's on it. Well, let's see if we can save him of a pistol. Well, actually, I've only got a few names here. My wife printed them off, and I'm going to read the names out. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the names out as she cut them out, and I'm going to fold them up. We have J-Man is entered. Now, to enter, what you had to do is go to 76highboy.com, and in the thread, name 3 things from Montana Xtreme that you thought looked really good. So these are the people that did that. So there's J-Man, and I guess I better take J-Man and put it in there. We got Capper. You're awesome, Capper. So are you, J-Man. You guys make my day. Uncle Caffeine. Gee, I like to have coffee with this dude. He's awesome. I love him on the forum. Wild767. Love you, brother. This is so fun. This is so fun. My good friend, Rev Tyree. Oh, man, you're so awesome. Okay. Oh, I can't tell you who this guy is yet. Oh, gee. I wonder who he is. I'm going to have to wait. A very old, long-time friend. One of my YouTube guys. Long live 3. This guy's a neat guy. I spoke with him on the phone a couple times. He's great. 5280 reloader. Oh, he is recovering from COVID. Yeah, he's tough. He's tough. Ain't no COVID pulling that guy down. And this guy, oh, Andy, gotta be me. Walter Bunny, the awesome Walter Bunny. Andy, gotta be me. AR gun 1776. Isn't that a beautiful year? Can someone tell me what 1776? What was that? Okay, we got Cowboy 4570. Oh man, he is fun to eat barbecue with. Him and his wife came, visited. Oh man, they're good people. Info Brothers. Big Tony. I love you, Tony. He got a tough job right now. I've been praying for you, buddy. Newbie. And the last one, Andy. Every time I think of Andy, I wished I lived like Andy. I do. I've thought, man, that'll be the coolest guy. Just go sit down and watch him reload. And I've always been a person that if I want to be successful, okay, I study great qualities about people. I steal from people. I see someone who's successful and I study them and I take their qualities. And if I could sit down with Andy, I would pick his. He would be. I would be picking his brain so much he'd be like, kind of retarded like me. Andy, I love you, dude. I do. I would love to meet you. So there we go. So we got all these names in here, and okay. So this is my official cup I made. It says 76 Highboy, and I put Ruger on the inside, 44. It's got 44 mag. It's got 0.431 semi-wad cutter. I made it. It's my gun cup for doing drawings. So now that I've mixed these up, ready? I'm going to reach in and draw one name. You guys see there's no cheating, okay? Reb Tyree. Okay, Reb. Text me your shipping info, and I will get that off to Montana Xtreme. And we're going to see, and the winner is Reb Tyree, my good friend. I wish that I had like 50 of these pistol rods to give away. Because everyone, you guys make life better. You do. When I started my channel, I just wanted to help people, and but over time, it's like you guys have helped me back and my wife back, because we feel like we got this people out there that think like us. You guys know what I'm talking about. People that think realistically. In my heart, that's what you guys are. People that think realistically. I don't know what happened to those people in the way of multitudes over time, but you guys make me feel like there's hope in the world. If I had 100 pistol rods, I will give away 100 pistol rods. So I appreciate you guys. Now, go to 76highboy.com, because as soon as this ships, I've got another company that I'm going to see if they'll throw in for a giveaway. Montana Xtreme is ready to do another pistol rod, but I want to put something else on, and then we'll have another drawing on this. So I'm going to try an average. It's not really one a week, but like 3 a month. So we're going to have some good giveaways coming up. Marty Mac, thank you. I appreciate that. So now, who wants to be on? This is how this is going to work. I'm going to share the link. Now listen very carefully. If you can't control your volume, we can't really be on, because then no one can hear. It will destroy the whole live stream. But if you can control your volume and just turn it down, you can be on. Now, you might be someone that you reload, but you don't feel like you're really experienced, so you would think you don't have much to offer. But you can still be on the panel, because you could tell us stuff like you like to smoke some really good tri-tip. We would all love to hear that. You might, you might, uh, you might be a stock market wizard. We would love to hear about that. So in other words, maybe this is more than about what we would think it's about. It's getting to know each other. So, and while we're at it, if you got questions on reloading, you can ask. So now I'm going to share the link. If you have a camera on your computer, click that link and you're on. I'll put you on. Hey, Matt Cushing, it's good to see you. God bless. Have a good night, and I appreciate you coming in for the drawing. Well, it took an hour to do that. Oh, Gates Jr., you're so awesome. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, thank you, Gates Jr. Thank you. Oh no, thank you. Okay, let me get my 223 dice. Hang on. I'm so thirsty. Matt, you're funny. Hey, Paul Merrick, have a good night. I'm glad you stopped in. Love you, brother. Okay, those are the dies that I use for my 223 Remington. And, and I'll tell you a little something about these dies. But I'll tell you a story. Back when I started my channel in 2013, the only we got Mike in the house. How you doing, buddy? The only rifle reloading I had really ever done was like 30-06, 270, 280, 243. Oh, of course, 30-30 Winchester. I mean, I'm talking like bolt action, something that I would use to go hunt, big game with, that type of thing. I had always just sized back to a SAMI Min. And the other thing is, these were bolt actions. So they just worked. So when my channel started, I hadn't loaded for the AR-15 at that point. And I had always heard about small base dies. And that stumped me. Because in my mind, I had never had a problem sizing my cases back. But that was a bolt action rifle. Okay. So why does everyone need a small base die? I mean, a SAMI Min is a SAMI Min. But a small base die, it just gets further down on the base of the case. These aren't small base dies. Because when I spoke to Redding on the phone, they said, well, all our dies size to a SAMI Min all the way down. And I said, perfect. That's the die I want. I had a lot of my viewers actually in the beginning who were really frustrated with their AR-15s. Their cartridges weren't chambering. The base of those cases weren't getting sized. So I was new to this, and I told them that I had never done it. I loaded mine, and I went out and I made a video, my very first ones. I just stuck the muzzle in the, down into the sand, and I went as fast. I wasn't trying to hit anything. I just wanted to see if they would cycle. I had to know, and I just went bang, 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 and I dumped it. I went bang, 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 and I just sat there for like three. I did 90 rounds, all of my reloads coming off these dies, and I've never to this day not had these dies work. Right there. 84 84111 right there. Okay, that's what I use. These aluminum cans are the Montana Xtreme cleaning products, and you can go back and watch live stream. I went through and I explained all these, but go to their website. You can, instead of spending an hour, you can watch the whole video if you want. I'm kind of boring, but if you go to Montana Xtreme, you can check out all their products right here, and they work. And now, Mike, I'm telling you, Montana Xtreme doesn't pay me. They don't sponsor me. Sometimes they'll send me something as a thank you. That means they like my channel. Okay. But I will tell you guys something. I'm going to tell you this. Somewhere in my garage, I have a lubricant a company sent me. Okay. A company sent me a lubricant, and they really wanted to work with me. I looked into it. I tried it. I thanked them. I said, it's very nice that you sent it, but in all good conscience, I can't tell my viewers to buy this. It was a pretty good oil, but it wasn't a great oil, and I wouldn't spend my money. So I'm telling you guys, I'm not a buyout, okay? So just so Mike knows. Okay, Gates Jr., that's a great question. But first off, I didn't know. Oh, Reb did have a surgery. Yeah. But I don't remember. I've had so many people that had surgery. I had three friends have surgeries. Late yesterday and today. Man, everyone's getting sick with COVID. But I've had a lot of friends with cancer. Oh my gosh. So, Reb, you got to text me the details, and I'll be praying for that. But I've been praying for you. I want you to know that. Okay, I'll talk about Jerry. Let's answer Jerry's, then we're going to get into Gates' question here. Hi, boy, where can I get some 32 HR Magnum pistol ammo? My Sportsman's has some right here. It's been sitting there forever. 2 boxes. There's no ammo. They got 2 boxes of that. So, but it's probably going to go away pretty quick. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I knew that. Yeah. Okay. I knew that. You told me. Okay. And we have Critter. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Man, it is so good to see you.
As you can see, I just finished some 223s.
Right on. How many did you do?
Until I ran out of powder. I haven't counted them yet.
Well, that's a good and bad thing, okay? It's good you ran out of powder, you could quit, but it's bad you're out of powder, you can't go anymore.
I had 5.5 grains of powder left when I finished. The Hornady powder that I used kept giving me fits, so I went ahead and bought a Lee powder drum.
Oh,
that was a whole lot better than the Hornady.
Okay,
A lot easier.
Gates Jr. He's got a question. He's saying, let's talk about investment in good quality dyes, opposed to spending much less for cheaper dyes. I have a story. My father began reloading before he before he was a grown man, probably in his late teens. Okay, so my dad knew a lot with reloading, but what he would do is if he bought a rifle that wouldn't hold all his groups at 100 yards within a time, he sold it. He was so finicky, picky. Okay, but what he would do is like he would buy Lee dyes. I'm serious, because he would say not all Lee dyes are the same. He'd tell you that. Some are tighter than others. And so he'd say, once I matched a good set of Lee dyes to a rifle, he said, that dye stayed with that rifle. Okay. My dad understood something. We're talking 30, 40 years ago. He understood chamber fit. Okay. Now, hang on. Let me get something. You're going to understand this. Okay. Are we ready? Do you see this set of Redding 30-06 dies? These are way back from this, probably late 60s. Okay. Those dies right there, my new Redding dies. Would you believe the full length sizing dies on both these die sets are near identical? I never say anything's identical in this world because nothing's really identical, but they're so close that if I swapped the dies, I would never know it. I learned that with my instant indicator and sizing cases with those two dies. So here we have a die 45 years later that's still to the same specs as a late 60s die. Okay, so when you purchase a set of dies from Redding, they are going to be dead on perfect. And I spoke with Robin Sharpless about this with a lot of their equipment. He said there's a lot that doesn't make the grade. He said that's why they're more, because we have more rejects. Okay, whereas another company is going to say, well, we want to offer a better price. So if we're too picky, we have too many rejects, our price, we're losing profit. So we're going to allow a little more to go by. Now, wait, let's turn that around. It's not that Lee lets more go by, it's that Redding holds a tighter standard. What Lee does is just fine. And I have personally told guys when they're running a Lee die and they're not getting chamber fit, I've said, well, go buy another. And they laughed and said, you know, you're not the only guy that said that. I said, yeah, because another, just a resize, just another resize, not a whole another die, a set of dies, just a resize die. $10. It's a gamble, but they're not all the same. It's either going to be smaller or bigger. You take your pick. Okay. And so dies are, the more money, the more tighter the tolerances they're going to hold. It's the same with the press. On this press, do you understand, to size a case and have it perfect, this ram and this turret head have to be absolutely perfectly square when you are all the way to the top with cam over. Once you cam over, this has to be perfect, perfect, 45-degree angle. Okay, that's what reddings are. So much to the degree that in these turret heads there's a sleeve, and the sleeve is matched to that turret head. All the press bodies are made to one standard and they hold it. If it's not to that standard, it gets rejected. So all the base bodies are held to a strict standard. Then when they make the turret, they match the sleeve to the turret for the right amount of back play, and that has to be dead nut perfect, or it doesn't make it. I talked to Rob, and he said a lot of them don't make it. That's why this is expensive. Other guys say, "Oh, I love my press," and I think that's great. But did you know some presses of less expense, it's hollow underneath here? It's hollow. This isn't. The thickness you see, this is the thickness it is. Some other presses don't hold the tolerances to that turret that Redding has. If you go to Brownells, the T7 is the only turret press they recommend. Why? Well, if I'm going to put money into dies like this, why would I want to, if I was a manufacturer, why would I make a press that's going to be any less the standard and mess up what my dies got going on? So I have to have a press that's going to match that die. Now, I will say that given, you will never get the amount of precision out of this than you will a single stage press, because the single stage has absolutely no play. This is going to have some play. You can't get rid of all that, but a single stage is going to get rid of every bit of that. But for what the turret press offers you, this is the tightest in the business. That's how your dies are. It's the consistency from die to die to die. Another thing, the Rockwell hardness of your dies. How many reloads are you going to get out of your resize die? Redding's Rockwell hardness is 61 or 62. It's like the hardest Rockwell business rating in the business for dies. At least last time I checked. Okay, I could be wrong on that. Maybe RCBS is that hard, you know. But I know what Reddings are. Okay, Lee's, they're not going to be that hard. They're just not. So there's a lot that goes into that. So here's the story. One guy can go buy a set of inexpensive dies, and another guy can go buy that same set of inexpensive dies, and one guy says, "Well, size nice," and the others won't. That's because those dies just aren't absolutely the same. But with a Redding, two guys can go buy those dies, and they're going to be dead on. Now, that doesn't mean that a bad die doesn't get by Redding sometimes, okay? But that's why a company will back their product. I mean, we're just human, and stuff happens. Oh, we're sorry. That die, if we messed up, send it back, we'll get you a new one. Oh, our press, we'll send you a new one. But by and large, that happens with all companies, period. And I will tell you something. I will tell you, I'm not trying to be a Redding salesman. I've had guys have to return their Redding product because they weren't quite right. I can only think of two. I can't say that with any other company, okay? Yeah, you get what you pay for. So some of my most favorite dies are my Lee dies for my handgun. Back when, after I just got so much equipment on my channel, I just said, I got too much equipment and I'm selling. So I started selling a lot of my presses, a lot of my dies and stuff, but I didn't sell my Lee handgun dies. I really like my Lee handgun dies. You can't beat those for the price, for the simplicity. You can't beat them, okay? They're a great die. For their rifle dies, let me tell you something. Their pace setter dies, I've got a set of pace setter dies by Lee for 223 Remington, and I proved it in my 223 Remington reload series. Hang on. We'll kind of, I think he's having fun. We better mute him. Anyway, those Redding pace, those Lee pace setter dies, I was sizing back 223 Remington and 5.56 range cases. And when I got done sizing those and loading them up, those range cases were keeping up with that far behind new out of the box Hornady 223 ammo. So Lee does a very good job. It's just that their tolerances aren't going to be as tight. Okay? So I hope I answer that. And I don't ever want to be negative on a company. That's so wrong. I don't want to use my channel for that. That's why I'm saying I don't want to say that Lee doesn't have, I don't want to say that Lee holds less tolerances. I'm just saying Redding holds tighter tolerances. I think that's because regardless of what you get from Lee, it's going to work. It's just not going to be as tight of tolerances as you're looking for. Okay? You there, Critter? I don't know.
Yeah.
There you are. Did you mute yourself?
Yes, I muted myself because I was banging on the table.
I got you. We thought you were shooting a raccoon out the back or something.
No, one of my rounds wasn't quite making it in the case gauge.
Gotcha.
It stuck up about 1/4 of an inch.
Oh.
So I was fixing it.
Gates, I do like my Dylan, and I'll tell you something. I haven't really put the science to it, but their dies are pretty consistent. I really ought to get a couple of their. I wish I had 2 of their sizing dies, and I might have a second set of 223 Remington. I can't remember. I had to try and see how close their dies are in my readiness indicator, because I think Dylan does a really bang up job on their dies. And I don't know if they do their dies or someone else does their dies, but they're top notch. And I want to say something about Dylan dies, there's nothing like a Dylan die, because once you get them set up, you can tear them down in the tool head on the press and clean them and put them back together without changing your tolerance specs. I really like that. I'm getting tired. Hey, Critter, did you, if I'm correct, that you got some of that 700X?
Yes, I got 5 pounds of it.
Oh my gosh.
I just ran out of the unique, so I didn't get a chance to use it. Then I'm having a hard time looking for Magnum primers, because I was going to use the 700X in the 357 Magnums after I cast some bullets, which was supposed to happen today, but it rained.
Well, I'm going to tell you how many more rounds you can load with the 700X over the unique. Okay.
Quite a bit.
What's that?
Quite a bit.
Are you sure it's a 5 pound? Isn't that's more like a 4 pound?
And a 1 pounder. So I can pour the 1 pounder when it runs out.
I got you. Okay. I bought an 8 pound jug. 8 pounds times 7,000 grains. There's 7,000 grains per pound. So I have 56,000 grains in an 8 pound jug. If I divide that by 5, I get 11,100 rounds. Now watch this. If I take that 56,000 grains of my high score 700X, I can do like 3.8 grains, and that gives me 14,736 rounds.
Oh, there it is.
I get 3,536 more rounds to shoot through my 9mm with the 700X than I do with the unique, and the 700X burns a little cleaner. That powder's the bomb, literally.
Now, if I can figure out how to do the rifle powder in the same position.
What's that?
If we can find the rifle powder the same way.
Oh yeah?
Well, the 4198, I can use it. It takes a less of a charge than regular, like 110 or some other stuff. Whereas the 110 or the 335, I think is what it was. It takes like 24 to 25 grains for mid-range.
Yeah.
Or the low range, actually. The first starting range. Whereas 4198 starts at 18.
All right.
So if I can figure out how to do the rifle stuff the same way we got the pistol stuff done, be better off.
Right. Well, tomorrow night I'm going to do a live stream. I don't know what time it's going to be because I don't know when I'm getting off work, but I want to do it at like 5 o'clock Mountain Time, and I want to talk about the 700X. And it's going to be a simple live stream, but I think it'll be pretty well received. So any more questions out there?
You know what?
Oh, Matt is asking, I'm waiting for a Hornady lock and load ammo plant. What recommendations do you have for my beginning loads? One thing that I would do is your beginning loads only run one at a time. One at a time. I'm serious. For like the first 100 rounds, because you're going to understand the moving mechanics of the machine. And do this. Oh, this is why I'm saying this. If you load up all 5 on the plate, you're not really able to monitor things right away. But if you do 1 round at a time, so okay, you put the cartridge case on, you prime it, expand and charge, you seat it, you crimp it, and you eject it. Now you can stop and look at your primer. Is it past flush? Is it mangled in any way? You can examine your crimp, and you can check the length right there with your caliper, and then you can case gauge it. And you don't have a plate full of cartridge cases in process of. In other words, when you're looking at this one, if you've got a problem, the shell plate is empty. Okay? So do 100 of them that way. Just take your time. Who cares how long it takes you? Examine every cartridge case. And then go shoot them. After 100 rounds, don't tell yourself, well, I'm going to load it up and go for broke. No. Go shoot them. I had a guy, and I told him this. He said, well, I was going to do that, and I asked some guy on a forum, and some guy said, well, that's not what you bought it for. Guess you might as well bought a single stage. Don't listen to those jokers. Don't. He's not walking in your shoes, and he's probably kind of ignorant. So what you're going to do is run your first 100 rounds and go to the range. How do they function? How do they eject? Are the cases overly dirty? Do you need more of a charge so they don't? You do understand if you don't have enough powder in the case, your cases are going to be a little more dirtier. So if they're looking dirty, that tells you need to up the charge a little bit. And if they're fine, you like it, now you can go back, and this is a new reloading session now. So start out just running 1 at a time through for the first 5 or 10, and then start going slow using all 5 positions. And the nice thing is, if you've done 100 of them 1 at a time, you know everything is smoothed out working. So now you got a full plate. You understand what each position does, and go at a pace that you can understand it. And another thing with the progressive machine, whatever you do, don't try and go faster. Try to slow down. You know why? Because naturally you will go faster. If you try to slow down, your automatic speed up pilot will automatically kick in, and it will be natural, and you'll develop your own cadence, But if you try to speed it, you're thinking about your speed, and you're not thinking about the machine. So try to just, make sure you're seating far enough and you're pulling back far enough. Seating far enough, pulling back far enough, and keep it the same. That naturally we want to go faster. Don't slow it down, and watch everything. Get in the habit of seeing the powder in the case, and if you're using a powder cup, that's great. And then the next thing you know, 3 months later, you're just going, and your speed naturally kicked in. Okay, I gave you 2 bits of advice, so there you go. What do you think of that, critters that sound pretty good.
Especially with that kind of a press. Especially with the lock and load. Because it's not, well, how do we put it? It's cranky.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. And it likes to be adjusted a lot.
Yeah, it's worth for the prom queen.
Yeah.
Drama queen, however you want to put it.
Drama queen. That's what it is. That's funny. It's the drama queen. Oh man, I'm gonna have to remember that.
But it's good. It's a good process. It's just it takes quite a lot of stuff to get it fixed up.
Well, when I first had my Hornady lock and load, it's all I knew, and I liked it. It put out a lot of ammo, and so in my mind, I always knew I had to make adjustments, but I thought that was normal. I thought, well, that's what it is. You know, that's the price you pay for high volume. You know, and then once I ran my Dillon, I was like, hey, wow, like I could start loading on my Dillon now and it'll just go. I don't have to fiddle with nothing, you know. I don't even have to adjust my powder hopper. It's ready, you know.
If I was to do the Dillon, I'd have to get 2 different presses, one for the small primer and one for the large primer. Because that thing looks like a madhouse trying to change out.
It's really not that hard. I will say though, the Hornady has the Dillon beat on that. Ease of priming changeover. For the Dillon 650, that's why I have 2 650s, because it's really not that hard, but
it's a pain.
If you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it. The 750, in my opinion, that's a real easy swap over. The only thing I don't like about it is if you, through changing your primer from, you know, sizes, you got to take that cam wire off and you can bend it. And so I don't like that part of the Dillon.
Oh, come here, Cameron. I'm out of
yeah, 750 is a lot easier.
I was going to crank out a whole bunch of 158 grain, 358 Magnum bullets. It rained. And I had just got 6 new different powder colors. I was going to try them out.
Oh, what colors did you get?
I got the metallic samplers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I forgot what. One of them was gray, and the other one was black and red and yellow, and some kind of a blue. But
wow, that's gonna be cool. I wished I didn't work so much. That's the one thing I wished I could do is do more casting and coating.
Actually, I wish I was. It's kind of boring sitting at home.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Robert Lutz, good to have you. Samson's good to have you. Big Jake's on. Well, guys, I think I'm going to bring this live stream, wind it down, bring it to an end, because I've been going since, oh my gosh, before 5 this morning. But tomorrow I'm going to go to work. When I get home, I'm going to strike a live stream up, and my goal is I want to have my live stream at 5 o'clock. My live stream will be on the high score 700X powder. I want to talk about it for 9mm and just share with you guys what I found and answer any questions. So how's that sound, Critter?
Yeah, sounds great.
Very good.
I could set it up for I could set my lock and load up and show you what the deal is on that.
For 9?
Yeah. I don't have any powder. Well, yeah, I don't have any powder. Yes, I do. I got powder and stuff on it. I just need I don't have any primers. That's what it is.
Oh. Then
I
you
got
fill it
one.
in.
I got one primer case. We can mess
Gotcha.
with that.
Well, you can still get your lock and load in there.
Yeah, I mean, at least show them how it worked.
Yeah.
As
I would like to see it actually.
my only problem is my case feeder messed up. The what do you call it, the pivot section doesn't work right, and I'm tired of fighting with it.
The pivot, what do you mean?
Well, the case feeder comes down, and I got the ammo plant where it has a case feeder and all that stuff. Well, the case feeder, it has a pivot point where the bolts come down the tube, and it pivots the case to the push rod, or the rod. What do you call it? The little landing strip on the butt base to press.
Yeah, I got you. Now I know what you're talking about. That's where everyone on with the Hornady has a problem. Is if you're gonna have a problem, that's where it's gonna be.
Yeah, and I've actually sent it in, and they've actually fixed it. I got it back. Then within 30 days, it broke. It's like, I give up. I even actually super glued it.
Info Brothers, it's good to see you, buddy.
I actually super glued it, and it broke the super glue.
Merton Siliker. Yeah, I am tired. I've been burning the candle at both ends all right. I'll actually tell you guys why I'm tired. I will. Because I worked out yesterday. I got this little gym that I made in my garage here because of COVID. You know, all the gyms, they were closed for a while. Now they're open. But even though I've had COVID, I don't want to go back. If you don't have to catch COVID, don't, you know. So I set a little workout place up in my garage, and I utilize those stretch bands and dumbbells and what have you. And so those stretch bands, they really kick your butt pretty good. And so I'm sore. My chest is sore. My triceps are sore, you know. And I gotta tell you guys something. I've been doing this exercise. I want to show you this. Hang on. Let me grab something.
And a Texas, huh?
Huh? Okay, so I don't know. These are little 5 pound or 2.5 pound plates. I have 2 of these, and I have 2 5 pounds, and I have 2 10 pounds. And what I do is this. I'm watching the camera. I put them together. Hey, I'll do it this way. I do it this way. I put them together, and I do this. I do that, and I do it in the middle of working out. Like I'm curling, and I come over and I do it. And I'm curling, and I come do it. I do it like, you know, four sets. You know, then I come do my back workout. I do 4 sets, and then I come do this. So I do this like, you know, I don't know, like 16 to 20 times, but I work up to the 10 pound weights where I've got 2 10 pounds and I'm doing that. But this is what I do. I take the plates up like this, and I hold them for as long as I can hold them. And what I do is I hold the top of the plate on my bullseye. So I don't even want it to drop. I want to keep it right up there. And as soon as I can't hold it anymore, I drop it and take my 1911 and I come out and I hold it. And all I think about is just barely squeezing the trigger. And so I've been doing that. And it has helped me, man, when I go to the range, man, it's amazing how when you shoot a lot, your arms can just get tired and fatigued. Since I've been doing this, it's helped the control of the handgun. It's helped with controlling my sights, everything. So, and it's a really good workout. So you guys might want to try it. It's something I came up with about earlier this year, and I've been doing it. So. Y'all probably think I'm weird, but it works. So that's why I'm tired, because I worked out too hard yesterday.
Okay.
Well, did you see the comments, Critter?
No.
Okay. Well, this is what I'm going to do. We got 27 on. Info Brothers, I want you to know I've been praying for you, dude. With what you do for a living, I've been praying that you would not catch COVID. COVID is horrible. And, so I've been praying for you. I have. Roadkill, it is a good workout. It's actually a workout that benefits you for something you're going to do. I've always lifted weights. I've never considered myself a power lifter, and I've never considered myself a bodybuilder. No way would I put a pair of Speedos on and walk out in front of a stage, in front of an audience. That is not in my character. But I work out because I like, when I hike, I like to do high rep squats. I like to ride my mountain bike. So it kind of has to match what I do. And this matches shooting a pistol. Another thing, when I have my 1911, when I come out, I'm like a clam. I get tighter on it, right? And those weights give me strength to really grasp it to where I'm holding it. And another thing, I take these to the desert with me, and I do that. And it's a good workout. I don't do it all the time, but I need to do it more often. I think Samson, he's saying, I don't play any sports at my high school because I love to reload. Laugh out loud. Good for you. I love that. But I wake up every morning and run and do workouts to stay motivated during COVID. I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you want me to tell you how to beat COVID? I don't want to waste anyone's time here, but I want to know. If you want to know what's in my brain about how to beat COVID. I want to see how many of you say yes. If I get a bunch of yeses, I'll tell you. I got one yes by Big Jake. Info Brothers says yes. Alaska One Andy, here we go. All right. I guess I really should do a dedicated live stream on this. I've never really said this because no one really knows a lot about COVID, but I've really thought about it. And what I'm about to tell you, I believe will save your life. Okay. The first thing I'm going to ask you, and I want you to think about this. When the death rate is so high, is it because COVID is so dangerous, or is it because of something that we're doing wrong as a society? Now, here's the question. If you caught the common cold and you had to go home and beat the common cold with what you have on hand, would you beat it as good as if you had certain things? Let me re-ask that. Not you, but 100 people in society. If 100 people in society caught the common flu, the common cold, and they were quarantined at home with what they had, how many of those people would survive the common cold or the common flu? Because last time I checked, when you get the flu or the cold, if you don't have what you need, you would go to the store and, gee, let's see, you would buy some vitamin C, some echinacea, some OJ, chicken noodle soup, Sprite, crackers, and maybe some popsicles to help you with your fever, and you will go home. And now you're going to medicate yourself, and you bought some cough syrup while you were there. Okay? But there's some people, when they get the flu, if they didn't have all that, they would not do very well. Henceforth, people die from the flu. Now, let's talk about COVID. Your government has not told you what you need to have ready before you get it. So once you get COVID, your doctor quarantines you. Your employer quarantines you. You go home. And guess who calls you? The CDC. When I got it, the CDC called me. When my wife caught it, the CDC called her. And they called all of our relatives. And they wanted to know something. Are you staying home? Hope you're not going anywhere. So now you're at home. You have nothing. All you have is what you have at hand. So now let me tell you what you need for COVID. Okay? This is what you need. Okay. 1. Now, Big Jake is saying he had some ester C and food and sleep and he got over it. I know people that have done that. But what I'm about to tell you is based off me, my wife, and some of my wife's relatives and other people that I've given this advice to that were glad I gave it to them. What my wife and I took, my wife doesn't take zinc. It upsets her stomach. But I took zinc. We both took echinacea. We both took vitamin D3. And then lots of Gatorade. Okay? Lots of Gatorade. Oh, you said the cold. Okay. You're really thirsty, and when you get the COVID, you don't have any taste, and water doesn't taste as good. And you need fluids. And Gatorade has extra stuff for your body. Now, there's another thing you need to do. I am very reluctant to say this because I'm a Christian. I am not to lead anyone into alcoholism. You understand that? I made a hot toddy 4 times a day for my wife and me. We went through a gallon of whiskey. Now, when I was a young boy, my grandfather would fill a shot glass up to about a quarter full whenever us kids were sick. He was an old Navy man. You were sick. He laid you down, gave you the shot, covered you up, said, "Don't move. Don't move the covers." He says, "You're going to get hot, but I want you to burn your your fever off. And if you move that blanket, he gets you." I mean, he was stern. So you left the blanket on, eventually burning up. You fell asleep, and the next morning, fever gone. So 4 times a day, we had a hot toddy. Why did we have a hot toddy? One, COVID hurt so bad you can't rest. It's horrible. It hurts so bad that when you roll on one of your sides or your back, your stomach to sleep, you begin dreaming. And they're horrible dreams. And you think this dream is a 10-hour dream, and it was only 10 seconds. And you wake up to pain. And you roll over. And you begin dreaming. And you wake up to pain. And it's over. And it's the same dream. It repeats itself. It repeats itself. That's what the COVID did. So what the whiskey does is it knocks you out. So you're going to take a shot of whiskey, and I would say an extra stout shot of whiskey. Put it in a glass. That whiskey is going to help you sleep, and you're going to be so tired, you're just going to go to sleep with it, and it's going to kill your fever. You're going to, what I woke up for about 8 nights straight, and my sheets, you could have wrung them out. And I never had a temperature. I would take my temperature. I never had a temperature, but every night I would take the toddy before I slept, and you could wring my sheets out. Man, that whiskey was cleaning me out. So you take a good shot of whiskey. Now, the COVID, it wants to settle in your chest. Once it's in your chest, you got problems. You got big problems. What did I do? What did my wife do? A big tablespoon of honey, it goes into the whiskey. I'm telling you how to make the toddy. Healthy shot of whiskey. George Dickel's is really good, Green Label. And then put a healthy tablespoon of local honey. Get your local honey. I have a health food place. They pour it out of this huge stainless steel thing. They get it local. It's local to you. You want to cough your junk up. Your COVID is junk. It's got all the junk that you've been breathing in. So that honey, it's local, and it helps you have a productive cough. If you don't have a productive cough, the COVID's going to stay in you, and you can't breathe. So now we got a good amount of whiskey, a good amount of honey, and now a little bit of lemon juice. The recipes call for a half a tablespoon. No, a teaspoon. A teaspoon. Don't use a teaspoon because you're going to be diarrhea if you have too much lemon juice. You don't want that at this time. So a half a teaspoon, just enough that you get the lemon juice in there. That with the honey and the whiskey gets your COVID out. Lastly, you need 4,000 ICUs of vitamin C. Your body's going to thank you. So you're going to buy that emergency or that ester C. You know, it's in a powder form. And you're going to put it in with the whiskey, the honey, and the lemon juice. You're going to pour it in there. You're going to turn your tap water on as hot as you can stand to drink it. And you're going to put 8 ounces, no more, 8 ounces, and mix the heck out of it. And it is so disgusting. This drink is so disgusting, I'll bet you'll want to vomit it. But you want to know what's worse? Trying to sleep with COVID. The COVID, if it nails you, you're going to hurt, you're going to dream, and it's the worst. So you're going to drink this concoction. Go, go, go. Don't stop. Get it down. Get every bit of it down. As soon as you drink it, you're going to take a glass of water, put it by your bedside, and you lay down. Lay down. You're going to do that 4 times a day. If you have to, do it 5 times a day. So another time in the middle of the night. And if you're going to do it in the middle of the night, have it already in a glass to where all you get up is turn the water on, hot water, and drink it and go right to bed. Now here's the deal. I'm going to tell you why I'm telling you this. What made me bring this up? What happens is COVID wants to attack you. You have to have antibodies in your body. You have to produce antibodies. The COVID's saying, I have more enemies than you. Your body saying, hey, I am being attacked. I need to start making good soldiers. We're outnumbered. Your body has 100 soldiers. COVID has 10 million. You got a problem. The COVID hits you. Some people die like that because you don't have enough of the antibodies in you. Well, I'm going to show you something. Just watch. Okay? If I start doing this and I pump this up and I rip it, if I rip my bicep up, if I take a simple little dumbbell and I sit here and I curl and I make this sore the next day, what does my body have to do? My body says, I'm being attacked. I need good antibodies. So let's take it a step further. Ready? If I come here like this and I do calf raises and I do 50 of them 6 times to where I'm ripping my calves, and the next day my calves are sore, what does my body say? My body says, hey, Jack, I'm being attacked. I need more soldiers in me. So your body starts building this immune system up. So what you're going to do is today, you're going to start taking zinc, provided it doesn't upset your stomach, because zinc increases your immune. You want 2,000 ICUs of vitamin C. That increases your immune system. You want to start taking D3. Get the liquid that you put under your tongue. That's the best you can get. D3 increases your immune system. Okay? Oregano. Get a liquid oregano. And don't, it's the smallest drop. You put too much, it's going to be so powerful tasting, it's disgusting. Put a little bit of that. That increases your immune. So these 4 things are increases your immune, and now every day you're going to do something. You're going to do calf raises and sit-ups one day. The next day you're going to do potato pickers. My wife and me call them brass pickers because we pick brass up in the desert. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. You're going to do like 50 of them 3 to 6 times to where your back hurts, your butt hurts, your leg hurts, and the next day you're going to be stiff. But guess what your body's doing? It's making antibodies. And you're going to build antibodies up. In 2 or 3 days, you're going to have 10 billion antibodies. So guess what happens? You have all these antibodies in you, and all of a sudden you get COVID. Oof, symptoms kick in. Well, guess what? You have 10 billion soldiers in you, and COVID came in with 10 billion soldiers. Well, let's say you have 10 billion soldiers, and COVID has 20 billion. They got twice as more. Well, guess what? Your body is in the immune building business. Your body can produce so many good soldiers, it's going to blow COVID away, right? So you get the COVID, the name of the game is one, beat the COVID, and two, keep it out of your chest. So you're going to take the zinc, you're going to take vitamin C, 2,000 milligrams, you're going to take vitamin D3 and oregano every day. Every day. You need to take that every day. Keep it in your system and keep doing workouts, right? Then when you get the COVID, increase the vitamin C by 2,000, start drinking a ton of Gatorade and water, and you take your toddies 4 to 5 times a day. If you get diarrhea, drop your vitamin C a little. You know, you can adjust that. And that toddy will keep the COVID out of your chest. It'll give you a productive cough. It will kill your I never had a fever. Never had it. Neither did my wife. Neither one of us. Oh, when you get COVID, the first couple of days you feel bad, then you feel better, and you're like, oh, I beat it, and all of a sudden, boom, the COVID, it grabs you and it takes you down. My wife thought she was going to die. She could not breathe. And I felt so panicked. I was panicked for her. And I was praying, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I have asthma. Luckily, I didn't get any asthma. Do you see how the hot toddies help? They keep that out of your chest. I have asthma, and it kept it out of my chest. And I was so worried about her. She was worried about me. And all of a sudden, she could breathe. She was coughing it out, right? Coughing it out. So was I. And our antibodies started pounding that COVID back. And it's a battle inside of you. So now you can see something here. Here's the problem with your government and COVID. If you cannot be hospitalized with COVID unless your lips are blue. My friend, who I graduated with in high school, died about 4 weeks ago from COVID. Through the chain of friends, his sister said that he was almost not breathing when they picked him up. When he got COVID, that meant he wasn't able to drive, so he couldn't have went anywhere to get anything. He didn't have anything to help him, and by the time they picked him up, he was almost not breathing. That's your problem, Mr. Viewer. If you get COVID, you're on your own. You're going to be at home, and you can't do nothing, Jack. And you are at the mercy of COVID and whatever natural immune system you have. If you have diabetes, your immune system, they say if you have diabetes, you're at higher risk. BS. Everybody has immune systems, even a diabetic. It's just that the news wants us to say, oh, I'm diabetic, I surrender. That's garbage. Zinc, vitamin C, oregano, D3, and every other day be doing calf raises. Hey, remember the Hulk? He'd do this. Do 5 sets of 20. Do 20 of these 5 times every 3 days, and your chest will kill you. And guess what? Your body immune system will get going because it has to fix your chest, right? And you can buy these little rubber, let me get one. And you can put them anywhere. Little rubber, right? And you can adjust these. You can put double. Now you're curling. Guys, I used to bench press 405 6 times. You don't have to do that. I'm 55. All I got to do, right? If you're 25, all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You know, I can set these up under my feet and do shrugs to where I'm hurting here and I'm hurting here. And guess what? I'm going to sleep and my body's going to kick in your body's saying, hey, I'm being attacked, and it makes these good antibodies, right? What we have is we have a country full of people who give up and they procrastinate. If you just heard what I said, now what you have to do is test every person in your household a month. You have to buy enough vitamin C. You have to buy a couple of gallons of whiskey, and don't drink it. If you're an alcoholic, leave the whiskey out and put in. Someone was telling me that they use something else in place of whiskey. But I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not addicted to alcohol. But you have to. Here's the problem. I tell people this, and they don't do nothing. Do you realize that COVID is getting worse, and all these things I'm telling people are disappearing off the shelves? So if you don't go buy all your vitamin C, all your zinc, all your D3, all your oregano, right now, when you get sick, no one's going to have it for you, and you're done. You're done. You're at the mercy of whatever your body can do for you. That's why people are dying, because no one's telling them. Your government's not saying, remember people were stocking up on toilet paper? You guys got to stock up on what I'm telling you. Tomorrow, you go and you go buy what I told you. You get the zinc, vitamin D3, oregano, and a lot of vitamin C. While you're there, get a lot of Gatorade, like 2 cases. You're going to be grateful. And then get your whiskey and your honey and your lemon juice. And you will be ready. Oh, one last thing. Popsicles. Popsicles. They're so good. It's the only thing that tastes good, because you lose your taste. I just told you the truth. And right now, I have already had, guys, I've had COVID 2 times. 2 times I've had COVID. I caught it in March, but I didn't have a fever, so they wouldn't test me. 3 months later, I caught it again. Again, I caught it. That time, I didn't have a fever, but I went down and they tested me. I was positive. All my symptoms were the exact same, but the second time, it kicked my butt harder, but I was ready. If I hadn't had all that stuff, I can't say that I would have done as good. So guess what's in my kitchen right now? All the stuff I just told you guys about. Okay. It's like this. If you have a gun, but you don't have your ammo, you're not ready for the gunfight. So you got to go get this stuff tomorrow, and get it set up in your kitchen, ready to go, and you're ready to beat it right now. So tomorrow, or hopefully not tomorrow, but next week you're at work and they quarantine you, all your stuff is on your counter and you are ready to go, period. That's how you beat COVID. If you don't do that, I'm here to tell you, viewers, it's real, it's nasty, it's worse than any flu, and it wants to kill you. I'm telling you. If anyone asked me, I would say COVID wants to kill you. It wants to kill you. That's what it wants to do. The flu, you catch it, it goes away. COVID, it wants you, and it wants every bit of you, and it goes right there for your lungs. So if you don't have all this stuff, man, I would be going as fast as I could. And every paycheck, buy an extra bottle and get yourself geared up. So if you get the COVID, and another thing, you're not wasting your money, because once they beat COVID, if you have all that stuff and catch the flu, come on. You take your zinc and your D3 and your oregano and you take all that, you're going to kill the flu so easily. So that is my advice. That's my advice. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to get done here and I'm going to go into the forum. Go to 76highboy.com and you keep watching. Tonight I'm going to put a big old forum recipe to beat COVID. It's what I recommend. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to help everyone, I'm saying it's what you need. Okay, there you go. So the conservative sniper hunter, he's saying if you haven't stocked up on supplies by now, it might be too late after the election when Trump wins. I like that. When Trump wins, I believe he's going to win. The Marxist criminal revolutionaries will start their revolution, folks. Perfect. That's all I got to say. But he's right. He's right. You know. Hey, Merton, have a good night. Conservative hunter sniper, you're cracking me up, brother. Because they are pro-Tifa and what they call themselves Antifa. Yeah. The critter says diabetics just need to take meds no matter how sick you are. I'm not a diabetic, so I don't know about that. But I mean that sounds like that's right out of the book. That's it. You know.
My problem is I am diabetic and I didn't take any meds while I was trying to fight the fever. I ended up in the hospital.
So did you have COVID?
I don't know. I don't think I ever got tested. All I know is I had a great fever and it wouldn't go away.
Yeah, and I bet you had the COVID. Now, here's something that I'll say about that. I know a guy who he's diabetic, high blood pressure, bad heart, super bad overall general health. He caught COVID and he lived. So when they say diabetics higher risk, then they say, well, but we really don't know. They don't know. I'll tell you who's high risk. People that have a poor immune system. That's high risk.
Well, my father walked in on me. Apparently, I was on the floor, passed out. They gave me a full bottle of insulin, and it still just knocked the tip off. They finally got to where they can have a reading. So apparently, not taking meds is just as bad as taking more than enough.
Yeah.
But I call it a stupid mistake. But the thing about it is, when I was younger, that's how I fought this stuff. Wrap up in a blanket, take 2 Tylenol, and go sleep it off.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't work when you're diabetic.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, here's the deal. It's 9 o'clock my time. I got a very early morning. I want to go and spend a little time with my wifey. So tomorrow night, 5 o'clock Mountain Time, as close to 5 o'clock as I can. I want to do a live stream talking about the high score 700X. I'm going to talk about how to figure out how many rounds you're going to get out of a particular pound or 8-pound jug. I want to talk about how it performed and just give you guys just a good information that you can work with. So be watching tomorrow night when I strike it up, and we're going to go ahead and call it a night. So we got 25 on. I want everybody to type Trump 2020. I'll call you out. Except Critter, because I can see him.
Trump 2020 anyway.
There you go. And Critter is out. Good night, Big Jake. Good to see you. Info Brothers is out. Harold Farmer is out. Good to see you, Harold. Curtis Long is out. Big Jake is out. Keep America great. Yes, sir. Kevin Culp is out. Hey, new guy. It's good to have you. Everyone, welcome Kevin. And then everyone else is asleep. Hey, we'll see you, Critter. Thanks for jumping in. If everyone knows he's one of the mods over on the forum, we got Long Live 3. You're welcome, Kevin. Roadkill Raker is out. Yeah, and 2024. You know it. Okay, so conservative sniper hunter. Okay, good night, all. Take care and keep your gun loaded at all times. I'm out. Go. The Donald. Orange Go Man. Yeah, Orange Man, good. I do want to tell you guys something. If you don't always have your gun, your handgun, at hand reach, whether you're in your recliner, your bedroom, doing kitchen, mine's always on me. But if it's not in hand's reach, you're not preparing yourself. Yes, Kevin, 76highboy.com. 76highboy.com. All right, here we are. Okay, guys, we are out in 3, 2, 1. God bless. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.